There, you want to know what Meryl Streep's best negotiation advice ever was that she ever got? I'm going to be sharing that with you and so much more in this video, so stay tuned. Hey, I'm Rebecca Zung, and I am an attorney. I am an author. I am a narcissist negotiation expert. Seems like a weird thing to say, but that is what I do. And I do it because I've dealt with narcissists and I have negotiated a lot as a lawyer. And I am so dedicated to giving you guys the best information so that you have the strategies and the resources that you need in order to navigate and negotiate these relationships in the best possible way. So if that's you, hit subscribe, hit that notification bell, and that way you'll get notified when I upload new videos. Okay, so I just came across this information where Meryl Streep was talking about her role in The Devil Wears Prada. That was the 2006 movie where she was like terrorizing and terrifying everyone as the head of a top fashion magazine. She was like steel in that movie, and her character was probably a tough as nails negotiator. But how about in real life? So in an article with Variety magazine in June of 2016, she said regarding her offer to do that movie, she said this: "The offer was, to my mind, slightly, if not insulting, not perhaps reflective of my actual value to the project." Hear her languaging in there. "There was my goodbye moment, and then they doubled the offer." She goes on to say, "I was 55 and I had just learned at a very late date how to deal on my own behalf." Such great gold in that, such great gold. So it really brings up a couple of really incredible negotiation points. First of all, any of you who have read my book, Negotiate Like You Matter, you know that I say matter it's the acronym for how to negotiate, but it's also, I use that terminology because all people want to feel seen, heard, and know that they matter. And M stands for my value as defined by me. So I want you to know that you and you alone define your value. And I actually have a video on this on creating value in negotiations, and you can definitely check that out if you'd like. And, listen to her words where she says, "Not perhaps reflective of my actual value to the project." Such good gold in that, because she's knowing her value at that point. And that is one of the very first things that I teach you how to do when negotiating, is knowing your own value. And I really do break it down between external value and internal value. Your internal value being whole and complete, and you are inherently valuable as a human being. And then there's the external value, which is how you're viewed, in the marketplace. If you are trying to get a job, for example, and you are a software engineer, then there's a certain salary range that's going to make sense in the marketplace, depending on your experience and your education and the geographical area and the size of the business that you're working for. And there's all these different things that, someone would look at to come up with a range that makes sense. So that's different than your internal value, though. But she's talking about both. I mean, she's saying, I know my internal value, and I also know my value in the workplace and to the project. So that's number one. That's a really great lesson, is, knowing your value. The second thing that I think is a great lesson from this quote is leverage. So I'm going to tell you this: whoever is more desperate to get the deal done has the least amount of leverage. And I have a whole lot more on leverage in my video called Get Leverage Over the Narcissist, which you can check out. And I highly recommend that you do. Just remember that whoever's more desperate to get the deal done has the least amount of leverage. And that means the converse is also true, which is that the one who cares the least about getting the deal done has the most. I mean, for the most part, there's other things that go into leverage also as well. But this is a really great rule of thumb. And so with Meryl, in her particular situation, she was 55. She had already gotten Academy Awards and lots of nominations, and she probably had plenty of money and lots of scripts coming her way because, let's face it, she's Meryl Streep. So she had all the leverage really in that case. I mean, she was like, pay me what I'm worth or I'm going to walk away. And, she didn't really care if she got to do the project or she didn't or whatever. So remember that you can just walk away if you want to at any time. So to remind yourself of that, I want you to put that in the comments right now. Just walk away, especially if it's insulting. And that brings up another point that I want to share. So there's such a great amount of lessons in this quote from Meryl. And the next thing that I want to bring to your attention is creating a choke point. So having that walk away point, having that point where you go ahead of time, before you even walk into the room, if this is my bottom line, if they go past that, I'm going to get up and I'm going to wish them well. And I'm going to say, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good rest of your day. And that's all you need to say. So creating that choke point ahead of time when you're not emotional, when you're not being knee-jerk, when you're not impulsive, when you're not being triggered, really, really important. And I have more about choke points and creating value and all that stuff in my free Crush My Negotiation Prep Worksheet, which is an ebook. Definitely grab it. It's at winmynegotiation.com. And I talk all about this stuff in there. And the last thing that we can learn from Meryl's negotiation on The Devil Wears Prada is that there's usually room in every offer. Just think about that, especially when it's first offers. There's usually room. There's usually ways to negotiate either up or down, depending on what it is that you want to do. But normally, people build some room into their offers. There was a story with Sheryl Sandberg who wrote Lean In, and she was the COO of Facebook, and she'd written this book, and she talked about how she got the first offer from Facebook and she was super excited about it. And she got it like on a weekend, like on a Friday or something. And a friend of hers who didn't even know what the offer was said to her, why would you take less than any man? And she said, because a man would never take the first offer. And so I guess she went back with a counter offer and then spent the entire weekend basically like sweating and vomiting and she was so afraid that she was going to not get the job now because they were just going to say no thanks. And by Monday, I guess they said yes, and the rest is history. And so it was a great lesson for her as well. So I tell you this story to let you know that there usually is room in every offer. So just remember that when you are going to negotiate. If you're dealing with narcissists, come join my free private Facebook group at Narcissist Negotiators at Rebecca Zung, by the way. And if you like this video, give it a like, give it a share, drop me a comment. Let me know what the leverage is that you're going to use, or just tell me choke point, just to remind yourself to do that too. So thanks for joining me on this video. Remember, today is always a great day to start negotiating your best life, even if you're just negotiating with your own head for your own self-worth. Today's a great day to do that, right? I'm so glad that you stopped by, and I will see you in the next video.